My name is Terry Ng. I am 58 years old, and I'm from the Charlotte, North Carolina area. In the United States, yes. Yeah, this is my first time doing plastic surgery, yes. So I had a friend who was with the embassy, and we had come to Cartagena to visit and vacation. And I looked around and I said, oh my gosh, the people of Cartagena are gorgeous. And she laughed and she said, that's because we're in the plastic surgery capital of the world. And I was like, what? I thought like Miami or Beverly Hills was. So I said, well, then definitely I'm going to have to come down and get some work done. And then, of course, COVID hit and everything shut down. And I was like, no, I'll never get there. And she ended up leaving the country to go back to Washington, D.C. And I was like, now I'm really never going to get there. She said, oh, I'll go with you. So I called and I had an interview with Dr. Campbell and immediately fell in love with what he was saying. And I said, well, I'm going. And I booked the trip in October, and here I am in January. Seamless. I was able to book my date of the surgery, provide my deposit very easily. I was kept in constant communication of everything that was going on from start to finish. And as soon as I booked my airfare, I provided them my itinerary, my passport, and then it was just waiting. When I had questions, I did not feel that any question was too small or silly. I was immediately responded by the coordinator with those answers. And if she couldn't give me the answer, she immediately corresponded to say that they were waiting on a doctor. I was always kept abreast of the situation, and it was phenomenal. So I originally came here with the intention of doing my breast lift and or reduction, my arms, my tummy tuck, and then lipo. After talking to my friend who accompanied me here and the doctor, it was determined that why don't we wait on the breast and proceed with the others so we can see where the dust lies, so to speak. And I did not feel pressured to say, well, do your breasts since you're here. It was, no, whatever you want, that's what we're going to do. And I'm in agreement with it. So I really felt comfortable with that. The day of the surgery, I was picked up by the driver and brought to the facility. And everybody was very cheerful and accommodating. I did not feel nervous. They kept me aware. I did not feel that there was any language barriers. I completely understood, and if I had a person who was dealing with me that wasn't as fluent, they got someone immediately to come and explain. There was not an ounce of nervousness. After the procedure, I was in recovery for a bit, and the driver drove me home to the accommodations. I was put into bed. The nurse stayed overnight, which was definitely reassuring. And she was there woke me for my pain procedure, like what I needed to take the pain meds, any kind of medications. The woman for the massage came in the next day, as well as the nurse to check on everything. So it was really comforting to have those individuals on my side and there for me if I needed anything. And it's been that way since. Definitely a much better recovery here. I would strongly suggest it to anyone. In the States, they do the surgery and they send you home that day. And basically you're left on your own to make sure you're managing your pain and make sure you're emptying your drains. And here, yes, I do empty my drains, but I was given detailed explanation as to how to do that and do it properly. And I don't think you see the doctor once. You don't see a nurse ever again unless you have an issue. Whereas here, you have constant availability of care at a phone call. They can come right to your accommodations to check on you. For me, that's the huge part. And I strongly suggest anybody who is thinking about this, really make the decision to come and do this, because the level of care is something I don't feel that you would have gotten I would have gotten in the United States. Well, because I was here before, I did fall in love with the city, and I was able to see a lot of those attractions prior to coming. When I arrived, up until the surgery, I was able to take advantage of going back into Old Town. Some of the best food in the world is here. And I love exploring different foods. So I had kibbeh, I had Italian one night, I had sushi another night. To me, that's something that was very nice that I was able to explore. Since having the surgery, I have not been able to get up and go as quickly because I did do a full extended tummy tuck, and that's a little bit more extensive. But I was assured today that when I come back in September for my breasts, that it is a far different thing, and I will be taking advantage again of seeing all of that Cartagena has to offer. I was fortunate enough to visit and have everything that it had to offer previously, and I was fortunate enough to experience a little bit before having the surgery, and I'm hoping by the end of this week that I'll be up and about, that I can go back and explore. But yes, it's a beautiful... Okay, so you can't ask me the name because I don't know the name, but I've had a chicken dish, I've had a beef dish, I've had lots of rice, I've had some beans, but I don't know the names. But everything has been mwah, chef's kiss. For me, it has been a blessing. It has been life-changing. And I am so incredibly grateful that I was able to do this and make this journey. I'm so incredibly grateful for my husband who supports me in this journey, but more incredibly the care, and I feel like family. I know that's maybe too soon for people to say that, but I truly do think that they care for you, and they do respect and honor and want the best for you, and that's what family is. I do. I'm sorry. It's probably the painkillers. But I sincerely, that is heartfelt. I really do. I'm so incredibly grateful. So incredibly grateful. I'm going to be thrilled. It's going to be awesome. I think it exceeds his reputation. So much so, before I leave here, I'm going to make my appointment to come back in September to get my breasts done. Yes, they exceeded, and I think they exceeded their reputation. It's phenomenal.